sandwich fanatics. Sorry I missed you last month. I got stuck being an adult, and well, that just generally sucks. But I'm gonna enjoy this pickle while we introduce Andy. Oh, these are delicious. I love these kind of slices. Well, where are you, Andy? Hi.
Oh, wow. I am huge. Hi. Hello. There we go. What did you say?
That's what she said.
Oh, man. I walked right into that one. Well, yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of What's a Sandwich? Thank you all who joined us last month. I feel like it was last month. Maybe we pushed it a week. I'm sorry. It's been kind of crazy in the adulting world, as Ryan has said. But I'm super excited for this episode today. Today, we're going to be talking keto, which Ryan and I are like big fans of. I just love keto sandwiches. Maybe that's my thing. I
don't want to eat keto anything.
Yeah. True. Like even like the casseroles that we've made and stuff. It's like, oh man. Anyway, so we
gotta eat the quiche.
Yes. But yeah, so today we have Beatrice Calderon with us today, who's going to be talking keto sandwiches. She has an amazing keto turkey feta cheeseburger to share with us as a demo today as well. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Beatrice in here. Hello.
Hi.
Welcome. Okay, hold on. I'm going to flip this back to the way it was earlier. All right. well, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for doing this and just wanting to share with everybody the amazing world of keto.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the
invitation. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Maybe what got you into keto and kind of your journey through that, and maybe what even brought you to our page.
Sure. So I have struggled with my weight, pretty much my entire life since high school. Up and down in weight constantly. I've tried every diet in the book. And the summer of 2019, I had a coworker that was on keto. And I was just like, all right, what is this thing of keto that I keep hearing everybody talking about? So she explained it to me. She explained to me like what you could and couldn't eat. And the first thing that she said that like totally it's made even my thought of ever trying keto was she was like that you can't have corn. And as a Latin American, I love tortillas, and that is just a staple for all my meals. And I'm like, me not be able to have corn, like that's, and I totally said to her, I'm like, you crazy, can't do it. So summer went on, and my partner and I planned a trip to Hawaii, which we all know it's bathing suit season all year round there. And it just kind of hit me. I was like, when I had to actually like buy bathing suits and buy clothes, I stepped on the scale and I had to buy new clothes because my clothes weren't fitting. And then I just said, you know what? I'm like, I am totally not in the size that I want to be. So I said, right after Hawaii, that's it. I'm, doing something. So I said, F it. I'm like, let me make a sacrifice. And I said, let me learn about keto. And unfortunately, I didn't have anybody that I can talk to besides, my coworker about it. But the reality is keto is so different for everyone. What works for me won't necessarily work for you. And that's why I actually like doing shows like these to make people understand, because I'm in so many keto groups that they're like, oh, well, so-and-so lost 20 pounds in a month and I've only lost 2. I'm doing something wrong. And no, we're all different.
Yeah. I'm happy.
Long story short.
I was going to say, I'm happy that you said that about like how keto doesn't work necessarily like to the T. There isn't like a that magic formula for everyone.
Yeah.
Because I had, kind of a similar thing where like I needed to drop like 35 pounds. And my wife and I did this whole keto thing, but what we realized was that it's actually more of a low carb with a supplement of keto, which got me there. So like you're saying, it just depends, and it can be dangerous too, you know, if you take it too extreme. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
oh, go ahead, Ryan. Sorry.
I was gonna say, like I was in a similar thing, like how you said that it's different for everybody. Because for me, it's just like I did keto and I loved it and I love eating that way. And because like I found out like that, what was it? My body just like clings on to carbs and sugars. Like if I cut those two things out for a week, I feel better in every way, different. And then like you just end up, but like for everyone, it's different because it could just be, it kind of just, even if you just do it for like a X amount of time, it helps you eliminate things so you can figure out like what you feel good and doesn't.
And I mean, to your point, I mean, I actually refer to keto more as a lifestyle than necessarily a diet, because keto has become honestly such a fad now. You hear it everywhere. Restaurants are even, labeling things keto. But to Andy's point, yeah, there's certain things that really wasn't keto. It's more low carb, which is fine. But like for me, it's I've chosen to omit these items from my diet in general, not necessarily permanently, but like pretty consistently. When I have my cheat meals, that's when I'll have my corn. Like if I go to a Mexican restaurant, I'm not have enchiladas because they're made with corn tortillas. But I've actually reached my goal weight since October 2019 when I started keto. By a year and a half, I went down 75 pounds. I went from a size 14 in pants to a size 4.
Wow.
So
That's
again,
awesome.
yeah, thank you.
That's just like, it's so like, it's just so empowering to hear when people can actually stick through big goals like that. It's motivating me because I know I need to get back to it. The COVID-19, COVID-20, the whatever we're in now. I'm moving up from 2021 to 2022, so I'm gonna gain 1 more pound as we roll into the next year. So I need to figure out what's going on.
I was the only one during COVID that lost weight instead of gained.
That's awesome though.
Like literally people who I haven't seen since COVID started were like, what the hell has happened to you?
Like complete transformation. They don't even recognize you.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a lifestyle for me. I mean, my partner doesn't actually follow keto, but she eats the keto meals and actually like loves them.
Yeah.
So it just goes to show that it really is a lifestyle choice. And then, the other thing that people have that misconception of is that there's like I mentioned earlier, is like that one size fits all. People actually don't know that there's 3 different styles of keto. Yeah, there's the clean keto, which is like you cook everything from scratch, everything is fresh. You don't buy any of those store-bought products that say keto on the label. And it's literally just fresh homemade cooking, omitting all the high carb items and staying under 20 net carbs. But what I've done, and this is, and certain people like the keto police, keto Karens, that I like to call them, people don't believe that what I follow, which is more of what is called a lazy or dirty keto approaches. I do buy the store-bought stuff that says keto. I actually do on occasions eat wheat products that are very low in net carbs. Like I stay under my 20 net carbs, but yeah, I indulge. I don't always have the time to cook. So I'll buy those pre-made frozen meals that are like 6 or 7 net carbs, but someone who's doing what's referred to as clean or strict keto would never touch those things.
Yeah.
So it's you do what's right for you. I mean, the reality is if we all ate the same thing every single day for the rest of our lives, we would still look. So
yeah.
our body chemistry is But keto is achievable. It's doable. It just, with any weight loss journey, it's just all about that motivation and that dedication. And
Yeah.
3 months before I started, I totally said no. And then I hit rock bottom, and I was like, I'm going to do whatever I need to do to reach the goal. And I was, because of COVID, I was working out at home, because at that time, all these places were giving you free subscriptions to every type of at-home workout. I took advantage of everything, and it paid off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. Kind of going back to the what you were saying about like the store-bought keto items. I don't know when this started, but I've noticed now there's like keto bread. So what is
So
keto bread?
I am actually, because I am obsessed. I don't know if you guys can see the brand, but these are actually, so hence again, reframing that I do follow what's called the dirty keto lifestyle. So someone that does clean keto would never eat these. But I am obsessed with these hamburger buns. They are technically dirty keto, but if you look at the nutritional content, which I'll just read it out for you guys, there's 15 grams of total carbs, but there's 11 grams of fiber. So when you deduct total carbs from the fiber, that comes out to 4 net carbs. And then what people forget is that you actually can subtract sugar alcohol, which is ethanol. And these have 4 grams of ethanol. So each hamburger bun is 0 net carbs. So these are super guilt-free, dirty keto friendly. I buy them. If I had a bigger freezer, I would buy them in bulk. That's how much I'm obsessed with them.
And where can you find those? Or where do you get those from? Where do you shop?
So they do vary. You can try to find them in the supermarket. So I just moved to New Jersey, but I'm like literally 10 minutes away from New York City. I've lived in New York City all my life. So keto friendly stuff were non-existent, still non-existent now. I find more of it in Jersey. But these I buy through the actual website, and there's a link in my Instagram and Facebook bio to the website. The brand is Smart Baking Company. They have 0 net carb hamburger buns, muffins, which I'm also addicted to, and cupcakes. But now, depending on your area, you can find a good majority of keto-friendly breads in your local supermarket. I'm addicted to Aldi. I'm addicted to Walmart. But depending on your area, they vary. Keto bread is keto-friendly. It's made with different flour. Like, for example, these are made with oat fiber, flax. There's whey protein inside. There's, a whole bunch of different things. But that's basically the difference, is that the way you make it is different. I've made my own bread before using almond flour, coconut flour, eggs.
Yeah, that's what we do.
And literally, it's called 90-second bread. You mix all those things up with an egg, pop it in the microwave in a ramekin, it puffs up. You got your,
Yep.
You slice it in half, put it on the stovetop, toast it up, and you got your little muffin. So there's so many different options, but they will taste very differently. So in my opinion, people buy the store-bought in hopes that they taste more like regular bread. And that's what I like about these hamburger buns, that they taste like the real thing, if not better.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. Yeah, we like making our own keto bread. We do the almond flour thing, just basically like you said. We love making our own bagels.
Yes.
It's funny though, because the bagels are only about like yay big. They're only like maybe like a little munchkin type, or like the mini bagels that you can get. And one of those is it's like you dropped a weight down into your stomach and you feel so full afterwards that you don't need. So it's like, yeah, it's like there's more like, rather than like the empty carbs, it's more of like a full
There's like more
feeling.
suds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing that people, the reality is, growing up, everybody said the fat is bad for you, and keto basically totally rejects that, because the whole point of keto is actually relying on the fat. And what people don't understand, what people don't know is the fat is what actually keeps you full.
Right.
It's actually not the protein. A lot of people think the more protein you eat, the fuller you're going to be. Honestly, I can eat all the protein and veggies and everything. I'm still starving. But the minute I add fat to my meal, it keeps me full. And that's the whole point of ketosis, is that your body is taking that basically the additional fat that you're adding to your meals and using that to burn energy versus the protein that you're eating.
Right. And that fat paired with fasting, right?
So when I started keto, I didn't fast because I did have a regimen of eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner on a regular. But about 4 to 5 months in, I hit my first plateau, which is very common. And I see it in the keto groups that I'm in all the time, where people get so discouraged because they plateaued and that scale does not move.
Mm-hmm.
One, don't trust the scale, because I can't tell you how many times the scale didn't budge, but I dropped the pants ups. And that's a real common misconception of weight loss, is that you need to see the number on the scale go down. But when I plateaued, I started thinking, what am I doing different? What do I need to do differently to boost up my metabolism? So that's actually when I did start intermittent fasting. And I did the basic. I did 16-8, which is 16 hours fasting, 8 hours eating. Luckily, because of COVID, I worked from home temporarily. So I was my kitchen was right there. So it was very easy. My morning, though, was coffee. And you can have coffee when fasting as long as it's black. And by choice, I've always drank my coffee black for many years. I cut out cream and sugar a very long time ago. So it wasn't hard for me to drink my coffee black. And I actually put collagen powder, which this is my favorite brand. It's Vital Proteins. I don't know if you guys can see the label, but I am addicted to this. I actually have this on a monthly subscription from the brand Vital Proteins. Put it in my morning coffee every single day. It has 10 grams of protein, and that's actually what keeps me full. Till this very day, I actually don't eat lunch or breakfast until about 1 o'clock. So I actually only eat lunch and dinner and maybe a snack in between. But from the morning, my coffee keeps me full because I put that protein powder, collagen powder, which has protein in it. And I also use MCT oil, which adds fat to the coffee, because I'm not a fan of bulletproof coffee, which is putting butter in your coffee. No, thank you.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Ryan?
I said I always use MCT oil in my coffee.
Keto oil, you said?
The MCT oil.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one I always do in mine. I like that one a lot.
I didn't start drinking black coffee until I did the whole keto thing. And yeah, it's the biggest trick to get through, like even just black coffee by itself, to get through the morning. Now that's all, I mean, some days I'm lazy, and that's why I need to get back into it. But yeah, I could drink just 1 cup of black coffee and it'll take me to about 1:30, 2 o'clock.
Yep.
And then that's when I'm like, all right, now it's time to eat. Let's go. This is awesome. I guess kind of to transfer things a little bit into the sandwich world. There's a question that I always ask. when someone comes on here, and my question is, what is a sandwich to you? Because now that you're in this keto world, like, people might argue, is keto bread, like, can there be keto sandwiches?
So, I mean, and yes, it's ongoing debate. Is a bunless burger a burger? Is it really a sandwich? Because everybody defines a sandwich as 2 pieces of bread with meat and sometimes cheese in the middle, or some type of filling. Let's just put it that way. But the reality is nowadays, with the changing of this generation and the changing of diets and lifestyles, the base of a sandwich can honestly, in my opinion, be anything. I've seen even people use sliced pineapple as the bread for a burger. I've used lettuce. I'm addicted to bunless burgers sometimes. Like when I go to, there's a burger spot that I love in this area called Smash Burger, and they do it in a lettuce wrap. Like they actually nicely wrap it up so you can actually eat it like a sandwich or a burger with your actual hands versus having to cut it. In-N-Out does the same thing.
Sandwich joints do this.
Five Guys does the same thing. But like that's the whole thing. I get bored very easily of eating the same thing, so I actually don't eat keto bread very often. I post this on the Facebook group all the time, and I get so many reactions. I'm addicted to chaffles. Chaffles is the easiest bread substitution, and it makes a perfect base for any type of sandwich. All it is egg and shredded cheese of your choice. My preference is to add almond flour, and then I'll add seasoning on top of it. But I can have those every single day because there's so many different ways to make it, because there's so many different types of cheeses. But like that's my go-to. Like if I'm not actually using these hamburger buns, I'm usually pretty much making a chaffle.
Yeah, I love those, and that's like, to me, like one of the most basic, easiest ways to get there to the sandwich thing. So yeah, I mean, to me, that's technically like a bread. So like, I guess so what kind of like what you're saying is, it's really like you've got 2 binders or I don't know what we want to call them, but like 2 bookends, and whatever's in between, and the act of sandwiching is what is making a sandwich, I think.
Like to me, it's more of the action of holding it in your hand, taking that bite necessarily, versus the substance that's holding the content inside.
Yeah. Ryan, so it's going back to that episode with the sandwich doctrine, where the gavel came out. Yes.
Can keto be sandwich?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Swing the ranch dressing gavel, please.
Keto can be
sandwich. It's so Midwestern.
I've been waiting for this. Well, get a Midwest pickle.
Yes, please eat a Midwestern pickle. Okay, well, I think, I mean, do we want to get started on the demo, and we can kind of ask some questions along the way?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
So I have all my stuff prepped, but for my turkey, brand doesn't matter. But again, this is totally my preference. I actually buy 93.7. You can find 99.1. You can find 85.15. Just like beef. Personally, I've tried all of them, and 93.7 is my favorite, because it has just enough fat to make the burger. So literally, this is a 1 pound packet. You find it in every supermarket, every brand owns it. I literally just put it in a bowl just like that. I go top it up. In this bowl, I have frozen spinach that I actually thought out prior to this. And if you have a cheesecloth at home, recommend it, but I don't. So I went old school. And literally with my spatula, I was pressing the water out because obviously frozen spinach has an insane amount of excess water. You can use fresh spinach, but honestly, again, for me, something about the frozen spinach, it just makes it better. So I go old school and I literally just double up paper towel. I lump up the spinach in the paper towel, and in the sink, I just squeeze it out, and it like disintegrates because it's like almost nothing now. And then literally I just dump the whole thing in. Then comes my favorite part, which is the cheese. On keto, if you don't like cheese, the reality is, not saying you can't do keto without liking cheese, but the reality is almost all the recipes has some type of cheese in it.
There are a bunch of people on here that can honestly say they have seen me eat a brick of cheese in a single sitting.
I was just about to ask, what's everybody's favorite cheese? What's your favorite cheese, Beatrice?
There's too many.
I know, right?
Goat cheese is one of my favorites.
Same.
This is the one thing I do miss of being on keto is I do miss beets, because beet and goat cheese was one of my favorite salads. If I have it, I consider it my cheat meal, because it's so good. And honestly, feta.
Yeah, love
I like
feta.
the saltiness of feta. And this brand that I buy, which is called Latinos, has about like 5 different types of flavored feta cheese, which is awesome.
I didn't know
and
that.
And the one that I actually bought is Mediterranean herb.
Okay.
Which I like because that means less seasoning that I need to put into the burger.
Oh, yeah.
So it's a pretty cool trick. What's your favorite cheeses? While I
Chihuahua,
yeah, or sharp? Did you say?
Or sharp cheddar?
Sharp cheddar.
Not sharp cheddar, just sharp cheddar, aged probably about 7 years. Sharp cheddar aged, or a bag of Chihuahua.
Cheddar is I like the also like for tacos and for chili. I like the Mexican blend, the 3 cheese blend.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now the big thing is goat cheese. For me. That's just my actually everyone. Yeah. Brittany's like, she's IMing me right now. She's like, goat cheese, yes. We're on a big goat cheese kick. I gotta try it with the beets though. I never thought to try that. So
I like
good. So the salads that I usually have with spinach, chopped up roasted beets, with literally just the lump of goat cheese, and it's with balsamic vinaigrette, like nothing fancy, don't need to go crazy.
Sounds good.
But it's delicious.
So we got the feta in there.
Yep, I put the feta in there. I actually didn't use the whole feta because feta is salty.
Okay.
So I used pretty much half. And then with my trusty spatula, I actually used the spatula to crumble it up more because they were big chunks. And then literally, this is the time-consuming part, is actually the mixing, because you want to mix it to the point where everything is well mixed. And I will say for anyone that, and I was saying this to Andy and Ryan earlier, if you have any family member that doesn't eat spinach because they don't like the taste, this is the way they're going to eat it. Because my partner refuses to eat fresh spinach, and this is the only way she actually eats the spinach. That and mixed with ricotta cheese in lasagnas. So all those kids that think spinach is disgusting, this is the way.
That's the way.
Yep.
Just sneak it in there.
Mask it with cheese. Cheese is the cure for everything.
Real quick, back to the beets thing real quick, because it's been like stuck. I had to look it up. What was the name of the show from Doug Funny, where the show Doug, when they went to that restaurant where everything was beets? Like, sandwiches and everything.
Brett, you gotta look that up.
Yeah.
I loved watching that show, but I couldn't tell you the name of
but you know what
of
I'm
what the
talking
episode.
about, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. We'll have Britt look it up and see if she can find it. But yeah, maybe
So
beets mixed in with the turkey burger. Yeah, sorry, go ahead. I'm just trying to get it all to work. Like then you got goat cheese in there. Sorry.
you're fine. So I'm gonna try to show it without obviously spilling it, but I try to mix it as best as I can. I mean, this could take as long as you want it to take. It really just depends on how well evened out you want. I use a spatula because I actually use a spatula to actually help me measure. A pound of turkey normally makes about 6 burgers for me.
Okay.
And with turkey burgers, and just like almost any burger, they shrink after. So I make them a lot bigger, so that when they cook, they shrink, they actually fit the bun. So literally I just take the spatula and then I start making my patties. What I like about this is you can freeze them. And that is one thing that on keto meal prep is key. And
it really is. You don't have a
like right now it's 7:30 your time, it's 8:30 my time. Like this is when I start cooking for the next day. And I have my containers, I pack everything up, and it's such a blessing to be able to honestly do it, because it does save time. My partner has food to take to work every single day, which in New York City, food's expensive. Not saying it's not expensive where you are, but $20 for a meal is.
But New York is love it there.
But yeah, it's crucial.
What were you saying, Ryan?
I said we're in Chicago, so the price difference isn't too far off.
Yeah, Chicago's very similar to.
But what I love New York though, well, I can't tell you, man. A couple times I went there, I ate so much food. I was eating every time I turned a corner. I'm not even kidding. I ate 5 different pizza joints in 2 hours, and
oh yeah.
Oh,
see, if you did that here, you would be full after the first one because ours are all casseroles and deep dish.
like the pizza here is like, even if it's not deep dish and it's considered thin crust, it is this thick compared to like New York, which is like that thick.
Yeah, you can get more in.
And it's the same price.
Right. Yeah. True. I had a quick question for you, actually, Beatrice. So
yeah, go ahead.
we make Parmesan crisp chips here. And we just use, it's just basically Parmesan cheese that melts and then you season it and it's nice snack. Have you ever come across anything that's easier than that to make for like something that would fall into like the keto friendly diet?
So, cheese crisps are awesome. But the reality is sometimes they're too light and sometimes you need something a little heavier.
It's like a
not sure if you have an air fryer.
Yeah, yep, we do.
So the air fryer is my best friend. And my air fryer also has a dehydrate button. So yeah, I got the Ninja Foodie.
Okay.
So it has like 10 or 12 different settings.
Okay.
But you could slice up zucchini in thin slices, put it in the air fryer or dehydrate them. And they also make chips.
Okay.
You can do it with a lot of vegetables actually. Because my whole thing with like the cheese chips is they're not filling enough. I have to have a dip added to it.
Right.
So making the vegetables into chips is actually more of a snack for me.
I know what I'm putting on my Christmas list this year.
Definitely asking for that.
You have that, Ryan?
No, but I've used it, and I was at my friend's house. They had it, and I sat there for like an hour just like looking at this and reading the instruction booklet, and we were supposed to be playing games, and I was all about to take the food.
You're playing
My
with
air
the
fryer was actually a Christmas present because I went that crazy about it. That my parents were like, "What do you want for Christmas?" I'm like, "This is all I want. Just get me my air fryer." And I use it all the time. I make chicken wings in it. You can make chili in it. I mean,
Yeah.
the
Chili?
things that I cook fish in the air fryer.
Yeah.
Oh, lobster tail in it is really good too.
Ah, I haven't tried that.
Huh.
Dated a girl that made it in it once, and I was like, "Oh, this is amazing!"
That's awesome. Yeah, no, I definitely adding that to my list. So, kind of getting us back to the burgers. There's a question here from Cecily. She wants to know
So
how.
I have the patty right here. So from what you can see, I try to, even it out. A couple of chunks of feta. Now, obviously, that's the part that to everybody's liking. You can crumble it up more, or I actually, because I love feta that much, the chunks is what I love about it. If you're gonna freeze them, highly recommend individual Ziploc bags. Makes it a lot easier. But literally all I do, you can either add pepper and all the seasonings you want into the mix or on top, your choice. Just don't add too much salt because, like I said, the feta is already salty.
Yeah.
But the thing with turkey burgers is that you do have to sometimes over season it because it's so bland. On keto, it's recommended to use olive oil, coconut oil, olive oil, more of you can use sunflower oil. It's recommended not to use canola or vegetable oil. Obviously not corn oil. So I actually use olive oil to fry these, but the choice is yours. 5 to 10 minutes on each side because obviously it's a turkey burger, so it has to be fully cooked. The beauty of feta is that it actually doesn't melt like mozzarella or something like that. So it may look like it's not done, but then when you bite into it, has that nice soft chew to it versus when it's cold that it's all hard.
So we have a question about when it's being cooked. How do you keep the meat from not drying out? Because Cecily here is saying that whenever she cooks turkey burgers, they tend to get dried out very easily. And then kind of like a two-parter question, does the frozen spinach make it more dried out, or does that keep the moisture in there?
That's actually a really great question because I can't tell you how many times I've made meatloaf or meatballs and they do come out dry because there's no fat. Like that's the reality of it. Probably the frozen spinach does. I will say probably does. I've never tried this with fresh spinach. So I don't necessarily have something to compare it to, but the frozen spinach does have extra water. I do use a little bit more oil than most people. A lot of the recipes say like a quarter of a tablespoon or half of a tablespoon. Not me. I don't necessarily measure my oil. What I do, this is the type of pan I use, cast iron. I'm addicted to it.
Yeah.
It's an investment, but it will last you a lifetime. I've had this one, I can't tell you how long. And then what I do is I pour the oil. I make sure that the entire casserole is covered and a little bit more.
Okay.
And you're gonna hear the sizzle. But that's what you also need. You need the fat of the oil, because regardless of what oil you use, it still is fatty. To absorb into the burger, and that's actually what's gonna also help it not dry out. The other thing is the epic rule of a burger: do not squish it. Leave it alone. And that's the key thing. Sometimes if you're in a rush, you can cover it and let the steam cook it. But number one rule for any burger is never, ever, ever squish it. And
Wait,
even more with a turkey burger that has no fat.
Did like
No.
Joe
Well,
DeGato or whatever, wasn't he going on about that
Gatto.
rule? He went on a good
Well,
rant about it too.
So when we were cooking with Joe Gatto, it was beef. Well, beef brisket mix. So what we were making specifically smash burgers for that one, but they were sliders, and for that one in particular, see, for what we're making here, Ryan, the difference between the two, this one I feel like turkey is so fragile that if you were to smash that, it actually just become like ground turkey, and then you'd have turkey tacos with spinach in it.
Right.
But the beef, the one that we had, we were cooking with him, when we smashed that, it was to get it nice and flat, to get all that fat on there, and to really get a good like crunchy outer layer of the meat. So I think like for this one, I wouldn't smash ever.
No,
but for that one, if you're making smash burgers, hell yeah, I'm smashing some burgers.
Yeah, beef, that's the one plus about beef, because it has all the fat. You can do so much to it. But yeah, with turkey, because it literally, I mean, think about it. A normal thing of beef is what, 80-20, I think.
Yeah.
Because I don't eat beef. Turkey is only 7% fat, so it's like practically nothing.
Yeah, exactly. There's like no fat actually to cook with the turkey burger, so that's how it would kind of exactly. Cecily's here, like, yeah, smashing it would crumble it away. Yeah, that definitely. So you
improvise and you got tacos. Just have
yes, if it goes wrong, you can just convert it into a taco. Which
and then
I gotta ask,
like cheese wraps for it, like where you just kind of melt the cheese and like what you were saying earlier, but you just melt the cheese, just make the cheese roll up turkey tostada.
No, I can see what you're saying. Yeah. So I gotta ask then, Beatrice, is a taco sandwich?
That is a big debate. big debate. And so I'm kind of biased because I am Latin American.
I had to ask. Yeah.
And I'm not Mexican, but I am from Central America, very close to Mexico. I'm from El Salvador. And I eat tacos all the time. To me, tacos are their own little world. They're a bubble in itself. But very similar to sandwiches. I mean, the concept is the same. You can fill it with anything of your choice. And that's why sandwiches and tacos and all these things are just comfort food for me, because when you're in a rush, you need something, guess what? Just open up 2 slices of bread or whatever, make yourself a sandwich, or grab a tortilla and make yourself a taco.
Where's the best place to get a taco in New York?
So that's rough.
Yeah.
That is rough. I'm still learning Jersey.
Yeah.
Because I just moved to Jersey, but like that's the problem with New York. I mean, New York is just a melting pot.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so many places. I know I have one favorite Mexican restaurant that even though I live in Jersey now, I will continue going to and make the drive, and it's in Queens because that's where I was born and raised, in Queens. It's called Don Tequila. If anyone ever goes to Queens, just look it up. You won't regret it. They have outdoor heated seating for anyone who is worried about indoor dining. Never had a bad meal there. I've gone there since they opened. Put it this way, the waitress knows my name. Yeah, I don't have to look at the menu. She looks at me. She already knows the drink I'm going to order and the food I'm going to order. That's how often I go.
That's awesome.
But I mean, there's other. The thing with tacos, I will always say, this goes for almost any culture, to be quite honest. If you're going to have international food, go to the mom and pop shops.
Oh, yeah.
Don't go to the Chili's. Don't go to the big box retail chains. Like, if you want to have authentic food, you go to the people who are really going to make it. Support small businesses. all for that. You know, during COVID, I mean, COVID, thankfully, I was very grateful, like I said, that I was able to work from home. But it's like during COVID, as much as I was on keto and I was cooking my own food, my partner and I were just like, every Friday is Takeout Friday. We are going to be supporting our people who have lost out on so much money. And we would always order, whether it be from the Mexican spot or a Peruvian spot or our local Thai spot or Japanese spot. We just had to do it. And, you know, that they make the best food. The box chains, not saying that the box chains aren't good, because there's some that I'm obsessed with. But there's nothing better than homemade food that comes from family recipes that have gone on from years and years and years.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Absolutely. Yeah. So at this point with the burger build, where do we kind of stand? Are we about to grill?
Obviously, because it's a turkey burger,
fry?
it takes a lot longer to cook.
Yes.
And that's not fun to watch a burger cooking. But I will say, you know, again, these are my preference of a bun. Again, chaffles. I'm a huge fan of arugula. I think arugula adds a very nice peppery touch, which actually goes really good with feta.
Yeah.
So my personal preference, I would actually build the burger with arugula, slice of fresh tomato, put the burger on top. I wouldn't even put mayo, to be quite honest with you. Because the burger itself with the feta, and especially that I bought the Mediterranean herb, like that's gonna have so much flavor. You don't want to necessarily mask that flavor with mayo, because I feel like mayo sometimes just covers a flavor.
Yeah. And if you're like me, I put way too much mayo on everything. So
in recent years, I've gotten
so
going up.
You hated mayo. Now
so I mean, I wish I
growing
could
up, and one day I forgot
to show you guys, but that would be my recommendation. My other recommendation for anyone who is interested in, you know, learning more about keto and doing keto friendly meals that people who are not on keto will eat, French fries. That's, everybody thinks burger and fries, and not shocking, potatoes are not keto friendly. Because of all the starch and the carbs. But they are a little, you know, high in carbs, but a perfect French fry substitute is rutabaga or jicama. Season them, salt, pepper, paprika, olive oil, roast them in the oven for at least half an hour. With jicama, you have to boil it first. And that's the tricky part. Jicama, you have to slice it, peel it, which is also hard. Slice it into fries, boil it for at least 15 minutes, and then roast it in the oven for another 30 minutes. So it is very time consuming. And I am the queen of 30-minute meals. My partner laughs at me. Because I'm like all for in and out of the kitchen. I love to cook, but I don't like to, you know, be there for more than an hour.
Yeah.
But with the French fries, it's just so highly recommend. Very easy to make. Again, my partner doesn't follow keto. She loves them. She thinks they're cool. You could also do zucchini fries. You could also do avocado fries. Use almond flour for your breading. Pop them in the air fryer or pop them in the oven. This is why the air fryer is my best friend, because it takes half an hour in the oven, takes 15 minutes in the air fryer.
Yeah, we can't stand anything that's beyond 35 minutes. We start getting like cranky while we're cooking, because it's like you're thinking too much about the food that you're about to have while you're like, I love cooking like a big meal for like family or whatever, but when it's like on a work night and you just want to be done for the day and just eat your food, something beyond that, no. So the air fryer, I agree. Yeah, it's definitely a lifesaver, especially when you can just put it in there and walk away and do something else and then come back. like I said, I am putting that ninja one on my Christmas list. Brett.
Yep. Oh, and that's actually when Christmas pudding for me. It always goes on sale for Christmas. Definitely get it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to watch like the Black Friday deals or what is that, like Cyber Monday for Amazon. Maybe we'll find it
Yep.
on Amazon.
Cyber Monday. Yeah, it's all the major department stores have them. So Macy's has them, Kohl's has it, Walmart has it, Target. They all go on sale for Thanksgiving and the holiday season. So take advantage. You'll probably get like $50 off.
Yeah. No, it's that. Yeah. No, that all sounds good. Sounds like it might happen for me, Ryan.
Well, she'll use it just as much as you.
Well, she has. Yeah, we have to share it, I guess. But it's for both of us.
There you go.
Just buy it. So there was another question in here about kind of the keto diet and everything for you. It was how often do you give yourself a cheat meal? So like when I was strictly doing it, like it was basically Fridays. And then I realized, no, actually Saturday is probably better to cheat because you get all day. So I would cheat the cheat on Saturday, but what do you recommend?
It's a great question, and thank you for whoever asked it, because it is a very common question, and you'll get again those keto parents that say you never are supposed to cheat on keto. But the reality is we're all human. If you are craving something that is not keto friendly, just have it. It's not the end of the world. Just my recommendation is if you are like, for me, for example, like I told you, that Mexican restaurant that I used to go to, I always order the enchiladas, mole enchiladas.
Okay.
Mole is not keto friendly. Neither is the corn tortillas. So what I did, I indulged. And I had my margarita. It wasn't a skinny margarita. So I don't even know how many net carbs I had those nights. But what I do the next day is I fast.
Yeah.
And I fast again with just black coffee. I'll drink bone broth, water with electrolytes, and that's very, very key. That's the one thing that a lot of people don't understand. On keto, you have to take a lot of supplements because of the fruits and vegetables that you're not eating. So electrolytes is potassium, magnesium. I forget the other one, but sodium. How can I forget that? And again, there is a link on my site for a brand that I do use. It's called Coffee Over Cardio. It's electrolyte powders that I actually mix both in water and in coffee. There's different flavors. I use them literally every single day because I don't like plain water. It's boring to me. So the electrolytes, I have candied watermelon, I have pink lemonade, because all those things, if you buy it store-bought, are just loaded with sugar. And not every brand is making the zero sugar styles. But indulge. You only live once, that whole YOLO thing. Don't deprive yourself from something that you really want. Just know that once you cheat, just get back on the keto train and fast, because fasting is actually going to help you get back into ketosis. Right now, since I have reached my goal weight, I think if I lose any more, my partner and my parents are going to kill me because they keep thinking that I don't eat. And then I show them all the pictures of my food, and they're like, "Oh, you really do eat." My mother was saying that to my partner, like, make sure she eats. And I eat good. If you look at my Instagram page, I post literally everything I eat. I eat good. But now that I've reached my goal weight, that's where I'm playing around with carb cycling. I'm playing around with debating on increasing my net carb count. So instead of staying under 20, I'm looking into staying under 30, and then on those weekend cheat days, staying under 50, which is technically low carb. versus keto. But again, that's because I've reached my weight. If I hadn't, I would just probably have that cheat meal, every other week,
When I was doing
once a
strict
month
keto,
kind of thing. Again, that was also because I had a goal in mind. I had a target goal weight. I had a target hand size. So again, your weight loss journey is your journey. You make it what you want of it.
Yeah. What were you saying, Ryan, about when you were doing strict keto?
when I was doing strict keto and I did my cheat days, my cheat day consisted of me laying in bed, door dashing Portillo's, getting a big cheesy beef, cheese fry, and a cake. And
Just
not
rip
leaving
off the
bed watching
Band-Aid. Yeah. So, I mean, that all makes perfect sense. Like, Zach asked a question in here: how many calories when doing a cheat day? But kind of like, I think it sounds like we're all saying it's you just if you're gonna cheat, just go, because it's more of a mental break than anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, right, like I said earlier, for me, sometimes a cheat meal is just adding corn to my meal. Like my actual supervisor at work is also on keto, and her cheat meal one day was the fact that she had cranberries in her salad. Like she considered that cheating. So to each its own. It is your journey. If you want to consider adding, a particular fruit to your meal as a cheat meal, okay, no harm, no foul. But it's all about noting that it's a one-day occurrence, because that's the problem. Just like with with anything, you have it, you remember how good it tastes, and then you're gonna want it. But keto, in my opinion, and this is what my partner says to a lot of people when they explain how we eat now, because she eats what I cook, is you're eating the exact same thing that you would eat. You're just using different ingredients.
Yeah.
So instead of regular pasta that is loaded with carbs, I use parts of palm pasta or zucchini noodles. But I'm still having the spaghetti and meatballs or lasagna. I'm just using a different type. Same thing with the sandwiches. Still a sandwich. I'm just using a different type of bread. So it's about in a way, honestly, it's tricking your brain.
Yeah,
you're still indulging in the things that you love. You're just eating it differently.
Yeah. So we have just a couple minutes left in the show, and I specifically had you come on for November, and I pushed that week more so because we're walking into the holiday season. So for everyone that's kind of like me, who's just like, okay, I don't want to go to like a party and not have the turkey, or I don't want to go to a party and not have the ham and like all the awesome fixings and have like 3 rolls and so what is your plan for like the upcoming holidays? Like, how are you going to basically get around any kind of damages that are done by the holidays for your diet?
So I am blessed that my mother has little by little learned. It took her a while. Learned what foods are keto friendly and what are not. So last Thanksgiving, she made Brussels sprouts, which there's an ongoing debate on Brussels sprouts. They're delicious. If you eat bacon, just cover them in bacon. Bacon makes everything better. But I like them either air fried or roasted in the oven. I don't saute them at all because I like the crunch. So to me, Brussels sprouts is my potato substitute. I also eat a lot of cauliflower. I actually have a whole fresh cauliflower in my fridge that I put in my air fryer, whole, and then you literally slice it like a steak. Absolutely delicious. The turkey, there's no issue, and that's the beauty of fresh meat, not pre-made frozen meat. Fresh meat has no carbs. So turkey, ham, beef, all that stuff, chicken, no carbs at all. The thing with keto is that you have to monitor the amount of protein you're taking on a daily basis. So you can't overindulge on protein, but you can eat any type of meat. You get your carbs from the fruits, the vegetables, and the dairy. So my recommendation for anyone is have the turkey, have the ham. The challenge with the ham is if it's being made fresh, can't use honey. I know a lot of people like that honey or maple glazed ham. There are sugar-free maple syrups now in the regular supermarkets. Find them, good substitute. If anyone needs, I mean, you don't want to even know how my kitchen is. I have so many brands that I could recommend. That would take a whole hour too. But, just be mindful of that. And then just play around with your vegetables. Unfortunately, if you're gonna stick to keto during Thanksgiving, unfortunately, no sweet potatoes, no mashed potatoes, but just make cauliflower mash. And again, add bacon, add sour cream, add cheese. You got your loaded, cauliflower mash, which
cauliflower, cauliflower mashed potatoes. We make that here. Yeah, no, it's legitimately, I think I like it better than regular.
The trickiest part is getting them to where they're not super running.
Yeah.
That's the trick. And
I can't, like, we use the food processor to get it really chopped up really good. Exactly. But then like you gotta know when to stop. Otherwise then it turns into like more like oatmeal or something like that. But
I need to drink it.
Yeah. It then becomes very much like a milkshake.
Yeah.
Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Cauliflower, because of how much water it has, it's very easy to mess it up.
Yeah. Well, awesome. So for anyone that's listening, Beatrice has so much on her Instagram. You need to go follow her. She always has these awesome posts out there of all these things that she's making, and so please go and follow her on Instagram. The handle is ketogirl_Beatrice, and it'll also be in the link of this video. But thank you so much for being on with us today and talking keto and teaching us how to make keto burgers. And I don't know about you, Ryan, but I have learned a lot today.
I have definitely learned a lot. Now, I'm motivated to get back into it now.
Yeah, it's definitely.
So all about having that support system. Ask the questions,
really is.
And then have that support system. So,
absolutely.
And that's literally what I was aiming for when I created the keto page. I was like, I didn't know Jack, you know what, when I started, and I'm pretty sure that there's millions of people that are in the same boat. So I'm going to help those who need it. So hope those who are watching, check out the page, message me, any questions, happy to help. I didn't have the support system when I started, but look at me now. So if I can do it, you can do it. That's what I always say.
Yeah. No, you're motivating me. Okay, well, so that's another episode of What's a Sandwich. Thank you everybody who's been in the chat and commenting, asking questions. Ryan, I don't know if you have any news of anything that might be coming up soon, maybe a art show.
Yes. So Switch Visions, which we overlap with What's a Sandwich so often, which Andy and Brittany from here are both going to be in this art show. We are hosting at Bamboozles in West Dundee on November 27th. It's going to be our first annual Switch Visions art show. And we have collectively there are 11 of us artists who everyone has been working so hard on it. They've been working on some of the most amazing work. I know, Andy, you have a really cool piece you're putting together for this. Cecily, who has been on our show, is also putting together a cool piece for this. So we are so excited. And so November 27th at Bamboozles in West Dundee, Illinois. It's actually at 6, Andy.
Darn it. Hold on. I got
7
you.
for those that like to show up fashionably late.
At
And-
6. If you come at 7, you'll miss appetizers or something. I'm sure.
Because I will eat them all. But yes. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, so.
Yeah. And yeah, people, please come out. It's going to be awesome.
Switch Vision Instagram page or Facebook and look at the invite too. There's a sample of all the artist artwork. And you can see Andy's portfolio, mine, Brittany's, Cecily's, and everyone's portfolios on there too.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out. There's a lot of talented artists in the show.
It really is.
And yeah, as far as What's a Sandwich goes, stay on the lookout. There was probably a post during this show that if anybody's interested in joining joining the leftover Thanksgiving sandwich contest, we're going to do it again for the 7th year running now.
Has it been that long since we've been doing that?
I don't know. Maybe it might be more like 4 or 5, but it's been a while. So yeah, check it out. Let us know if you're interested. We're gonna get a group of people together just so that everyone's in the same little chat, and we're gonna do another competition. Hopefully, Wayne Johnson, if you're out there, he is the reigning champion of last year. So if you haven't seen it, look it up in the group. It's pretty spectacular what he did last year.
It was so beautiful.
Yeah. So we have an awesome prize package put together. There's going to be some sponsors, and then of course there'll be What's a Sandwich gear, of course, in that package. So yeah, a lot of announcements. Thank you all for joining again. And if we don't talk again in live format, everybody have a wonderful holidays and Happy New Year. But I feel like we'll probably be back when we're check-in. But yeah. So thanks again, Beatrice, for being on. And
thanks, everyone.
We'll all be talking.
Hey, everybody.
All right.